better?
تفضل بسم الله.
حدثنا محمد بن كثير أخبرنا سفيان عن منصور عن إبراهيم عن عبيدة عن عبد الله رضي الله عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: خير الناس قرني ثم الذين يلونهم ثم الذين يلونهم ثم يجيء قوم تسبق شهادة أحدهم يمينه ويمينه شهادته. قال إبراهيم: وكانوا يضربون على الشهادة والعهد ونحن صغارا.
كانوا
يضربوننا على الشهادة والعهد ونحن صغارا.
طيب. قال إبراهيم: وكانوا يضربونا. طيب. وكذلك يقال أيوة. طيب أحسنت جزاك الله خيرا. طيب. The third hadith of the chapter, and it's the last hadith of the chapter. Imam al-Bukhari rahimahullah, he says, حدثنا محمد بن كثير قال أخبرنا سفيان عن منصور. Is this the same Sufyan as the last Sufyan? I taught you how to find out. Then we have another one whose name is Mansour. Who is Mansour? That's a very popular name. I taught you the way of discovering that. He then says An Ibrahim, and that's also Muhmal. How many Ibrahims are there? Extremely popular name. There's a way that we can find out which Ibrahim it is and which Ibrahim it isn't from the scientists of Hadith. He then said An Abida, which could be Muhmal because his last name isn't mentioned, his kunya isn't mentioned, his country isn't mentioned, his tribe isn't mentioned, but at the same time, that's a unique name. Abida, very unique. Not Ubaid, not Ubaidullah, but Abida. But he's still mentioned without a last name. And then he narrated from Abdullah. That's also same principle. Who's Abdullah? Which Abdullah is it? Abdullah ibn Abbas, Abdullah ibn Umar, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As. Everyone understand this? What's important here, he says Abdullah. And because we don't want to get into the sciences once again, but we say in brief, this Abdullah here is who? Abdullah who? Which one? Which Abdullah from the Sahaba is this? What do you think it is? Khair, inshallah. Says here that the Messenger of Allah والسلام, he said, very similar to the previous hadith of Imran ibn Husayn radiallahu anhuma. He says, Khairun nasi qarni. The best of my nation, or the best of the people is my qarn. Then those who succeed them. He says, then those who succeed them. So now you have how many people? 3 qurun mentioned. Whether you translate it as generation or not. 3 of them and not 2. And perhaps Imam al-Bukhari rahimahullah, he mentioned this hadith after the first hadith to prove is that the Messenger of Allah mentioned 3. Because the first narration had doubt. He said, La adri, I don't know whether he mentioned 2 or 3. The hadith then says that the Messenger of Allah then said, ثُمَّ يَجِيءُ قَوْمٌ. Then another type of people will come. تَسْبِقُ شَهَادَةُ أَحَدِهِمْ يَمِينَهُ. He'll give his shahada, his witness, his testimony before he swears. Or he'll swear before he gives his testimony. Ibrahim said, who's this Ibrahim again? We don't know who he is. We know who it is, but those who haven't studied and know the keys don't know who he is. This Ibrahim, I'm not going to tell you who he is. You should research. Whenever Abdullah is mentioned and Ibrahim is mentioned, in most cases, it's going to be the same 2 people. Abdullah from the Sahaba and Ibrahim from the Tabi'een. He says that this man Ibrahim, he said, وَكَانُوا يَضْرِبُونَ. They used to beat us. They used to physically discipline us on a shahada, upon the testimony. And he says, وَالْعَهْدِ, and the word that you keep. Your word as a man, as a woman. وَنَحْنُ صِغَارٌ, even though we were small. Even though we were small. So the holiday point from the hadith is just like the holiday point of the last hadith. There's going to be khair, widespread khair, and there's going to come prevalent shar, prevalent evil. There are going to be people that are trustworthy and righteous, and then there are going to be those who aren't trustworthy and who aren't righteous. He then said, Ibrahim said, not from the Sahaba, and this once again shows you the diversity of Sahih Bukhari. Whereas this is a fa'idah not from the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. This isn't a hadith marfu'. This is a statement of one of the tabi'een. He says, they used to beat us. Who's they? The Sahaba. The Sahaba used to hit us. على الشهادة والعهد ونحن صغار. We, the tabi'een, were young boys. And when we gave our word, if we said something, we made a promise, and we broke it, or not even breaking it, but just to keep the discipline, they would do what? They would hit them. Don't say that. Don't promise and then don't come. Everybody understand this? So this hadith, it shows us that Imam al-Bukhari rahimahullah, once again, he sees the permissibility and the benefit of taking the fawaid from the tabi'een as well. Everybody understand this? When you study usul al-fiqh, you take a chapter called Babul Adillah or Babul Dalil. What is Dalil? Al-Quran, Sunnah, Al-Ijma', Al-Qiyas, Sadd al-Dhariha, Shar'a man qablana, Al-Istihsan, Al-Musa'id al-Mursala, Hadith wal-Haraj. We have the Adillah of two types. We have Al-Adillah al-Muttafaq alayha wal-Adillah al-Mukhtalaf fiha. The proofs and evidences that all of the ulama agree are what? Proofs and evidences. A verse from the Quran, whatever the case may be. Amal al-Medina, etc. And then we have proofs and evidences over which the ulama differ. You say what the companion said and did is a dalil. Qawl al-Sahabi, for example, and he says, La, innama dalil fi riwayatihim, wa laysa fi ara'ihim. حجية قول الصحابي قال أبو بكر كذا قال عمر كذا قال عبد الله بن عمر كذا. Everybody understand this when you study usul al-fiqh? So this shows you another virtue, another benefit of Imam al-Bukhari's book, is that he gives you fawaid other than the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. And this is also one of the striking differences between Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. Imam al-Bukhari rahimahullah, he gives you an abundance of athar, an abundance of statements of the tabi'een, the followers and students of the Sahaba, the disciples of the companions. Imam Muslim, he does this very, very scarcely, occasionally. But 9 out of 10 times in Sahih Muslim, Imam Muslim only gives you Qala Rasulullah, Fa'ala Rasulullah. Everybody understand this? So Imam Muslim's book is a bit different than Imam al-Bukhari's book. And not just from the concept of authenticity. And that's a discussion in itself. People say, what's the difference between Bukhari and Muslim? They say Bukhari is more authentic than Sahih Muslim. And that's it. It's deeper than that. Rather, there are many things in which Imam Muslim rahimahullah outdid Imam al-Bukhari. And Muslim was Bukhari's student, was his pupil. There are many things which Imam Muslim chose to differ from the way of his teacher and how they organized and arranged their books. Imam al-Bukhari rahimahullah, his book, he wanted to be a compendium of everything. Imam Muslim, he wanted his book to be musnad for hadith, that's it. Al-hadith al-marfu'a, al-musnada. All the specific abwab, this chapter, that chapter, this athar, that wasn't Imam Muslim's purpose. But that was the purpose of Imam who? Imam al-Bukhari. Everybody understand this? So this hadith, it teaches us and it proves us what the previous hadith taught us. The virtue of the what? Of the Sahaba. Does this virtue mean that every companion is better than every tabi'i? Or the companions as a whole and the tabi'een as a whole? There were many of the tabi'een, as we said, there were great ulama, great fuqaha, great qurra, great mujahideen, great munfiqeen, great du'at, people that spread Islam, that took Islam to this country, to this land. There were some of the tabi'een and some of the followers of the tabi'een, they said about them, jumi'at fihi khisal al-khair. They say all good was found in him. All good. All khisal al-khair was found in this man. And then some of the Sahaba, they met the Prophet, as we said, once or twice. There's some of the Sahaba, rather, we may find that made sins, that did things that were wrong, that were punished during his lifetime. So does it mean that every Sahabi is more virtuous than every single Tabi'i? Or does it mean that the Sahaba as a whole are better than the generation and the era of the tabi'in as a whole. That's the argument and point of discussion. What is important, هذا هو محل الشاهد. This is the highlighting point from the hadith, the fada'il as-sahaba. So therefore, you have an argument, you have a debate, you want to prove a point. One man says, قال الشيخ فلان, قال الإمام الفلان, يقول في كتاب الفلاني المذهب الفلاني. And you say, قال رسول الله. Why? Your argument is going to be what? Far stronger. And that's what Imam al-Bukhari is giving you and teaching you. This is what you have to believe. This is what you do not have to believe. This is what you shouldn't believe. What daleel? Boom, boom, boom. And he bombards you with the proofs and what the evidence is. From the Quran, from the hadith, also from the athar and aqwal of the sahaba and the tabi'in. Everybody understand this? So that's the main highlighting point from the hadith. The next chapter, Imam al-Bukhari rahimahullah ta'ala, he says, باب مناقب المهاجرين وفضلهم منهم أبو بكر عبد الله بن أبي قحافة التميمي رضي الله عنه وقول الله تعالى للفقراء. طيب إلى آخر الآية. Imam al-Bukhari rahimahullah says, the next chapter is the virtues of the muhajirin and their merits. After he mentioned Fada'il Ashab al-Nabi, the virtues and the merits of the companions. But now, as if he has a loop or a ring. And what is Imam al-Bukhari doing? What is he doing right now? What is Imam al-Bukhari doing? He has a ring. What is he doing with his ring now? He's tightening the ring. He's making it smaller and smaller and smaller. It started out here, then he's doing what? The virtues of the... Now, the virtues of the... Aywa. And then he makes the ring even tighter. He says, in front of the muhajirin is... So this is a very important style of the tulab al-ilm. A style that you should learn. And that is to give something specific after something what? General. Who can give me an example from the Quran? Man kana la aduwan lil kafirin. Allah says, he who is an enemy for who? But to who? Lillah. Wa malaikati, his what? His angels. Tayyib. Allah then mentions after that, who does he say? Jibreel from the angels, Mikael from the angels, but he mentioned them after he said the angels as a whole to show emphasis, to show importance, to show virtue. Everybody understand this? How the usloob muttarid, yani, is mentioned in so many places in the Quran and the Sunnah. Everybody understand this? General, then specific. Or sometimes Allah and His Rasul, sometimes it will be mentioned something specific and then there's something general. Everybody understands there's many examples for this. So when you want to master tafsir and the balagh of the Quran and the ma'ani of the Quran and istinbat, let alone the hadith, you have to understand this principle. Everybody clear on this? Jibreel alayhi salam is from the angels. Mikael is from the angels. Everybody understand this? Abu Bakr as-Siddiq is from the Muhajirin. The Muhajirin are from the Hakada. Everybody understand this? So it goes to show you how beautifully Imam al-Bukhari put his book together. He started off with something general, then he went down. Everybody understand this? So this shows you again that the scholars of hadith, they had tremendous understanding, tremendous fiqh. And they weren't just donkeys and mules that carried books on their backs. As the jealous people say about them, those who were jealous from the fuqaha and the madhabiyin, they had hasad for the muhaddithin. They wanted to lie about them. They were ulama, they were fuqaha. Everybody understand this? And the delay that they had fiqh is how they organized their books. Everybody clear on this? Khayr, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So therefore, let's we're not going to get into that next chapter. It's a very long chapter, and there are many others. Perhaps we didn't last subhanahu wa ta'ala. In our next sitting, we have the ability to read more and to study more. Obviously, time is short. The crowd is mixed. We have to stop. We have to explain. We really don't have the ability to fly how we want to fly. Because I know this person is not going to understand these, so we have to stop. So we do whatever we can. We do what? We do what we can. We do the best that we can. And hopefully, be the next subhanahu wa ta'ala, we'll have another meeting and we can take the same topic and read and study more. But most importantly, brothers and sisters, most importantly, more important than me coming back and visiting you again, is you picking up Sahih al-Bukhari. Is you going to your house and reading it and studying it and taking the principles and the techniques that I taught you and doing what? Applying them yourself. And bi'idhnillahi subhanahu wa ta'ala, you'll be amazed how things open up for you. Say, oh wow, I get it now. I see it now. It makes so much sense now. Everybody doing this? And that is, as a wise man once said, he said that a teacher is never a giver of information. A teacher never presents information. A teacher never gives truth, he said. A teacher never gives truth, a true teacher. He says a teacher is nothing more than a guide. No more than someone who guides you to your own path. Everybody understand this? You shouldn't take my opinion, my reservation, what I feel and think. You should take the technique from me, the how, and then you go research and look and find out and discover it yourself. Everybody understand this? So that's my job, is to put a little bit in your cup, just a little, and the rest of it you have to fill up through your own efforts, your own research, your own memorization, your own diligence. When you become stumped, you become confused, something that isn't clear, then you do what? You ask your teacher, but you have to research. You have to study as well. And Imam al-Bukhari, rahimahullah, just like all other Muslims, he has rights over us. The Prophet says Muslims have rights over each other. When you meet your brother, give him salams, so on and so forth in the hadith. And from the rights of Imam al-Bukhari is that we read and we study and we benefit and live and thrive from his outstanding legacy. His outstanding legacy, what he put in this book, what he went through to put in this book, it is his haq upon us to benefit and take from it. We have so many books, so many lectures, so many classes, this, sharh, alan. If I asked one of you, this person comes up a talib al-ilm, I'm a student of hadith, I say, how many times have you read Sahih Bukhari? Not memorized it, not studied it with a sheikh. How many times? Kam qarat al-Bukhari? How many times? Most tulab al-ilm will say what? If that. If that. Many will say, I never read Bukhari from cover to cover. I read this book from cover to cover 10 times. I studied this book with Sheikh Fulan 20 times. The same shot of this metin 50 times. But Imam al-Bukhari's book, you haven't read it from cover to cover once. And that's sad. And wallahi, there are so many different secrets in this book. So that's all I want to say. May Allah accept it from us all and give us beneficial knowledge and righteous action. Allahumma ameen. You have a toothpick. I don't know who threw this on the table. We can't find out who threw it. We can find out. Or maybe we won't find out. Look, man, should we find out or just act like we didn't see it? Somebody threw a toothpick on the table. We're talking about Imam al-Bukhari. Act like we saw it. Allahu Akbar. Right. Who threw the toothpick on the table? Even if it was by accident. Right. What do you have to say about that? Sorry, that's it? Allah, you shouldn't say sorry. Not to me, not to him, not to us. What should you say first? Shh. Say what? No, not sorry to himself. To do what? Seek Allah's forgiveness. Seek what? Allah's forgiveness. And also, then you say sorry. But it's not just it. It's not his fault that the toothpick landed on the table. Someone was playing with you, correct? No, don't say nothing. They ratted you out. They pointed their finger quickly at you. The toothpick didn't fly on the table because he was just plucking. He was playing with other people. Nah, that's very bad. You guys are young, but you're not young. Nah? Everybody understand this? Everybody clear this? What would you do? What would you say if I said anybody that pays attention to my class, I give them $100 right now? Right now. $100. Khalas. Who wants $100 right now? If I say right now, $100. What? That's two. And if I pour more money out. It's not fake, it's not monopoly, it's real money. $100 for free. And all you gotta do is just sit and pay attention and be quiet. Everybody will raise their hands. $100. Big face, whatever you want to call it, Cash, cream, whatever you want to call it. Look, man. Everybody will want it. What we're talking about, Imam al-Bukhari is worth 100 of these measly, filthy bills. No doubt about that. So we have to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And know one thing for sure. All of you young brothers here, the habits that you form today are the habits that you're going to have tomorrow. And if you have habits of disrespect, of talking and laughing and joking and this and that, know for sure when you get older, you're going to have somebody that you're going to talk to, someone that you want to listen to, and they're going to do the same thing to you. So we have to be very careful. Walhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.